good evening or afternoon or morning, depending on whenever I upload this. I found something and I wanted to watch it with you guys. I saw this video come up in my recommended. Donkey reacts to unexplained goblins. I was like, are those a real thing? Like, you know, the unexplained ghost sighting videos, they're like pretty commonplace on YouTube. I do love them. They're pretty commonplace. But goblin sightings? Like, surely not. Surely that's a bit too far-fetched. Well, apparently not, because we got this video here from a channel called The Finest. I think it's got like over 6 million subscribers, called 10 Unexplained Goblin Sightings from all over the world. Goblins are a terrifying entity to think about. They're tiny little creatures that are usually violent in nature and don't think too. Anyway, all right, okay. All right, let's just watch this. Let's just watch this.
Goblins are a terrifying entity to think.
Has he just put the intro in? That's quite big brain. Actually, no, I don't even know if that's a big brain or not. Oh my god, there's names for them. Number 10 is the tiny hopping goblin, the tiny terror, and he just couldn't be asked to come up with names for the last three.
They're tiny little creatures that are usually violent in nature and usually don't think too well of humans.
Where has that study come from? Where's that come from? Like, how do we know they're not too friendly towards humans? We don't know that. They could be very friendly, considering they don't fucking exist.
There have been numerous goblin sightings all over.
Hang on, sorry, what was that? That's a garden gnome. That's a garden gnome.
Been numerous goblin sightings all over the world over the years, and in today's video, we'll go over the top 10 goblin sightings from all over the world.
Does he want to say all over the world one more time? One more time. Go on, The Finest. Say it one more time.
All over the world.
I just need to know the sheer scope of
all over the world.
The sort of goblin sightings we're looking at.
Ready to join the Finest squad? Then make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of our interesting videos ever again.
Oh yeah, if you want to see more of my interesting videos about goblins and such, then like this video and subscribe. So you never miss another video about top 10 unexplained goblin sightings from all over the world ever again. Is that the Fortnite logo? That's the Fortnite. That's the F from Fortnite.
The tiny hopping goblin.
The tiny hopping goblin.
One afternoon, someone was filming a little boy playing with his soccer ball, and presumably the boy wanted to show off some of the tricks he was working on or learning.
It's fucking shit. It's shit, kids. Give up.
No one in the room expected what happened next.
They know.
When the boy accidentally kicked the ball into the hallway, he appears a little reluctant to go out and get the ball.
Is there a fucking goblin?
But in a few seconds, we know exactly why. The ball doesn't go very far, and the boy takes a couple of steps into the hallway. What he sees next...
Oh, it's the fucking tiny hopping goblin! Oh my god!
Sends a shriek of terror through everyone's spines, and in the camera frame, you can see a small creature hopping through the frame.
How do we classify goblins? Is it just little creatures? Because that could be an imp. We don't know what that could be. It's probably most likely a fucking rat or something. Like, how do we classify these goblins here? Because when I imagine goblin, I imagine the goblin from RuneScape with like the chainmail that you always used to try and put on, but you can never quite figure it out because it didn't work, and it took you like 2 weeks to figure out that it doesn't work. Was that just me? I hope not.
It's too small to be a rabbit, and it doesn't appear to have a long torso or hind legs. No one's really sure what it is.
It's a goblin. It's a goblin. It's a goblin.
The tiny terror.
The tiny terror.
While kids were out playing soccer at night in a...
Okay, yeah, no, this is literally pitch black. How can you determine whether it's a goblin or not in this lighting?
When one of the boys kicks the ball over to the area with the trees, it's a well-lit area, so no one suspects anything of being over there.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Like, you know, when you're out with the boys playing a bit of footy, you never expect a goblin to come out of nowhere. You thought these were the things that happen to other people. You know, you read it in the newspaper and you're like, oh, that could never be me. But then it ends up being you one day. You end up being a victim of goblin. Goblin on these nuts. Comedy.
Once they begin walking over there, however, something appears out of nowhere and begins walking.
What the fuck is that?
It appears to be a small goblin.
It's probably a child. It's more than likely a child.
Hidden in plain sight. In a rather blurry video, it's hard to see exactly what the people here see, but once the object starts moving, you can see it.
It's quite clearly a goblin.
It's not until the object gets up and appears to move like a human that people start to become concerned.
Definitely a goblin. Definitely a goblin, in my opinion.
It seems to grow legs and quickly walks out of the frame, sending people scrambling and running. leaving the cameraman and his friends questioning what exactly they saw, how they can comprehend what they just saw, and how long that creature had been there.
How long is this fucking video? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. He's just waffling like all these people are like, oh, it might be a goblin, but almost definitely not because they don't exist.
It would have taken some heavy wind to blow something like that away.
How do you know? That could be like a plastic bag. How do you know it has to be? Can you determine the weight of it by its shadow?
The running goblin.
God, these are some creative names, aren't they?
Their backyard is lit perfectly well, and all we can see in the beginning of the video is a tree, some fencing, and some grass beyond the fence.
Oh my god, it's a team of them. There's a goblin team. There's loads of them.
Towards the end of the video, we can see a couple of objects fly over the fence and stop moving. There could be a simple explanation for this video.
I mean, there probably is.
Perhaps it was a group of kids running, and two of the kids removed particles of clothing to throw them over the fence.
Yeah, that does seem very unlikely. I'd say I'd veer more on the side of goblin.
Could it have been escaped prisoners from a nearby holding facility? There are so many questions to this video.
No, there aren't. What are you on about? So many questions. It's goblins. It's obviously goblins.
Out in the woods.
I'm going to take a punt at this and say this was a goblin that was seen in the woods.
When a video starts out in the woods, you know it's probably not gonna go well or end with a happy ending.
Sorry, but why are all these videos shot in like World War I found footage quality? Like, what is this?
A little creature peers around the corner of the pillar and then quickly goes back behind the pillar.
Come on.
Quickly disappearing into the shadows.
Come on.
While the video isn't perfect quality, it looks like an image of a person that's really small. They try to follow the creature.
Sorry, but there's so many different sizes. Like, you've seen goblins that are like that big, and then we've seen ones that are like child size. So, what is the classification here?
The wandering goblin.
Okay, another one. I'm gonna take a guess and say this goblin, he was wandering.
This one might be closer to a leprechaun.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, no, okay, you're right, yeah. Fucking stupid. I should have known just from that screenshot that it was more of a leprechaun than a goblin.
We see someone filming from the second floor of what we assume is somewhere in South America. The camera starts out with a shot of their dog in the film.
What makes you think it's South America? What makes you think that? Like, it's literally shot with a fucking BlackBerry or something. How can you tell? I can barely tell there are people in this.
They quickly pan down to the floor level where a little girl is playing on her bike. She walks over to the side of the house to pick something up, and as she's walking back, we see a small creature that looks like a goblin or leprechaun casually strolling through.
Ah, yes, What do you guys think? Let me know. Do you think that is a goblin or a leprechaun? I can't decide. I simply can't.
The little girl was obviously frightened, and the image of the small creature sent her running for cover. But the creature didn't seem to react to the child screaming. It just kept walking as if it had somewhere to be.
You know, they got jobs too. They got work. They got their own little civilization. Like, look, he was wearing clothes. Like, there's like goblin TK Maxes and stuff.
The small running goblin.
The small running goblin. I'm gonna get another guess. It's small. And it's going to be running.
The video starts out harmless enough. We see someone just filming their child as most parents do. Everything a child does is precious, and parents certainly like to
My god, this guy is waffling so much to get it to 10. Come on, stop waffling. How is this relevant to goblins?
We don't really get a hint of anything being wrong until a few seconds in, when out of nowhere, this small creature appears to be running for cover.
Sorry, fuck off. Sorry, piss off. Piss off.
The child catches a glimpse of the small creature because he looks under the desk to see if he can spot him again. We're not sure if they ever caught another glimpse of the creature, and the child couldn't seem to find it either.
To be fair, that is the most clear goblin you'll see. I mean, you can kind of make out its face.
We're not certain what exactly they caught on camera, but we can definitely tell you that it didn't seem human. It seemed rather quick.
That is for sure a goblin. That's for sure a goblin. I'm telling you now. I'm not even being ironic. Like, that is a goblin. That's a goblin. Genuinely. Even though this video is 110% fake, that's a goblin if I ever seen one.
The sideways moving goblin.
Oh, I can't deal with these names anymore. I can't deal with them anymore.
In a grainy security home video or a hallway video,
they might as well just call these like Goblin 1, Goblin 2, Goblin 3, Goblin 4. That'd probably be better names than these.
We're not exactly sure where this video comes from, but the video is straight to the point. The only thing we see in the image is some weird limping creature that seems to be holding something in its right or left hand.
I can't make out a single. What is that? You can't make a thing out of that.
There's really no information available on this thing.
Bro, what is that? you can't even tell what that is.
Other than that the video footage is a little grainy and it doesn't look like anything logical we can identify.
So why is it in this?
Spider-Man Goblin.
Spider-Man Goblin.
This is another one of those incidents where we have no clue why this person was filming, or maybe they saw something before the video we see to get them to start recording.
Yeah, and for some reason they all have like terrible fucking Why do none of these have even like an iPhone? An iPhone would be able to do a good job of this.
The creature appears to be rather small, and it looks like it knows how to scale walls.
What do you mean? You can't, it's a dot. It's a dot, it's a blur. What do you mean it looks like it can scale buildings?
Which is even more terrifying.
That's just a guy. What are you on about?
A photo in a photo. One of the most crystal clear cases of a goblin sighting would have to be...
Oh, yes. Perfect. Perfect. Crystal clear.
...out as a friend filming their person who is in turn taking a picture of them.
What? That's a child. Are you... Sorry, is that the best one? Is that the best unexplained... That's a child. That's obviously a child.
After a minute, it takes off into the wilderness to never be seen again. Do you think any of these goblins were real?
No, of course they weren't. Anyway, guys, did you like that video? Did you learn a lot? Did you learn a lot about goblins and such? If you did, be sure to let me know and leave a like and all of that good stuff. Also, subscribe or I'll send a goblin to your house to batter you in. All right, nice. In a bit. Bye.